today's tutorial, I should be showing you how to make this cowl. Now this particular one I've made here is made out of scrap DK yarn, but you can make it out of any yarn you desire, whether it's DK, whether it's 4-ply, whether it's chunky. This is an adult one size fits all, measuring at 68 centimeters. I should be using UK terminology, but US terminology will be up on the screen. And let's get into this. Right, let's start off with a slip knot. Make your slip knot however you make yours. There's no right or wrong. And we'll be making the 4-chain slip stitch loop. Feel free to make the magic knot version, but I find the 4-chain slip stitch just a little bit more stable. Right, and to start off, we will do a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This counts as our first treble and chain space. Make sure to crochet over your tail so you can cinch it in later. Right, now we make 3 trebles to create our first granny. Do forgive me if I'm having trouble keeping my hands on camera. I've never done a tutorial before. Right. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and make another 3 trebles. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and make another treble. Now we're on to row 2. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 will work. This counts as a treble and a chain. Now go into the first chain space just here with your 3 trebles, with your 3 granny clusters. I do apologize. In this particular row, we'll be making our grannies ever so slightly different. If you're not familiar with the granny cluster, I will demonstrate just here. So basically, we make our treble as normal. So we go through, we'll grab our yarn, got 3 loops on the hook, we yarn over, we go through 2. Now, instead of completing our treble, we will now make another one. So yarn over, go through, grab our yarn. Now we have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, and go through 2. And now make our third treble. So yarn over, go through, grab our yarn, go through. Now we've got 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2. Now we have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then go through all of the loops. And now we make a chain. And now we go into this space right here with another set of clusters. So yarn over, go through, pick up stitch. Now 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2. Now we make another treble. Yarn over, go through, pick up stitch. Now we have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, and go through 2, and then make our last treble. So yarn over, go through, pick up stitch. Now we have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and then go through all of the loops, and then make a chain. Now we chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we do that all again. So yarn over, go through, pick up stitch, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, and then we make 2 more. So yarn over, go through, pick up stitch, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through, pick up stitch, yarn over. Now we have 5 loops, yarn over, go through 2, and with 4 loops, yarn over, go through all of the loops, and then chain 1. And then we go into this last chain space here, and we do the same thing. So just watch me here. We finish our stitch, we chain 1, and now we chain 1, and we do 1 treble as normal. And that is row 2. Now we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We turn our work, and now we're going to do something a little bit different on this row. We're going to make our treble grannies, but we will be adding a front post double treble. So in this hole just here, we make our granny cluster as normal, where we complete each treble. 1, 2, and 3. Now in this next gap just here, do 1 treble, and now we do a front post double treble. So yarn over twice, and then we go into this middle stitch just here. We take our hook and we loop underneath, and we come through the other side. We put our yarn on, we pull it through, and we yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then we make a normal treble. These first few rows of doing this is a little bit fiddly, but once you start building up your rows, it's not so fiddly. And we do it all again in this gap just here. So 1 treble, I know we do a normal granny treble cluster here. Sorry, I do apologize. So a normal set of 3 trebles, chain of 3, another set of trebles into that same gap, just did that bit wrong, do apologize. 1 treble, 2 treble, a 3rd treble. All right, and into this next space we do our front post just here. Okay, so we do treble, And then we yarn over twice. We find this post just here, go through the back, come out through the front, yarn over, through the back, yarn over, go through two, yarn over, go through two, yarn over, go through the last two, and now another treble. And now a normal set of 3 trebles just here with a chain space and then your last treble. So 1, 2, 3, 1 chain, and your last treble. Now you can go in through the top of your chain from your previous row, just here, just to make a cleaner edge, but I tend not to because I find with shawls the edge is pretty clean even when you do it just like that, right? And this is basically a 2-row repeat where we will repeat the cluster row and the post row just here. So I will go through all of this again with you with row 4. So chain 4, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the work. That counts as your first treble and your chain space. And now make some granny clusters where we do not finish the treble. So if you remember, you go through, you pull up the yarn over, go through 2, but you do not complete the treble. You make another, and you do not complete it, and you make a third, and then you yarn over, and you complete all 3 of them, make a chain, and do the same in the next one and the next one. So go through all of them, make a chain, do the same here, and treble, 2, 3, finish them off, chain, and make 2 lots of them with a chain 3 in this gap just here in your corner. So 1, 2, 3, complete the cluster, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and do that in the same space. Do it all again in the same space. So 1, 2, 3, complete the cluster, make a chain, and then once more, and complete the cluster, and then a couple more times. 1, 2, 3, complete the cluster, chain, make a cluster, now we chain 1 and we just make a normal treble. Okay, and I shall do the next row with you, and then I will leave you to complete this on your own. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, 10, and I'll make a granny as normal. So that's completed trebles. And then wherever there is a space with clusters above it, that'll be where you make your post stitch. So treble, double treble, front post, another treble, and then repeat that all the way to the corner. Now in this one you will notice the post from the previous round that we did. Just go underneath there. And continue it on. And it adds amazing texture to your cowl. Keeps you all nice, snug and warm. Right. Another post. Another treble. Right. And in the corner you do your grannies as normal, so you do 3 trebles, chain of 3, and then another 3 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, chain of 3, another 3 trebles, now you continue up this other side where you do 1 treble, 1 double treble post stitch, and another treble. You do the same all the way up there, and then in this last stitch you do 3 trebles, 1 chain space, and 1 treble. This would be the last row that I do with you. another post stitch. And then in this last chain spot, we do 3 trebles as normal. We do 1 chain space, and then another treble. Right, and then we carry on until our cowl reaches 68 centimeters this way. And how we measure our cowl, we measure along the top here. As you can see, so far it's measuring 14 centimeters, so you got a few more rows to go. If you're using DK yarn, approximately 24 rows, so that will be a row of granny clusters and post stitches. When we have reached 68 centimeters, I will come back and show you what to do next. So I shall leave you to do the rest. Now, if you feel you need to go over it a few times, do feel free to rewind back the video to row 2 and continue on from there. And I shall see you for the neckline. Right, my cowl is almost done. I just need to do one more round, and that's a double crochet round, and I will do that with you. Right. So we will chain 1. Let me just get my cowl on the right side. We will chain up 1. We will then 10 our work. And we will put a double crochet into every single stitch round. In the corners, we will be putting 2 double crochets, chain of 3, and then another 2. But I will meet you at the corners to do so. Okay, and now we're at the corner. I'm going to pop 2 double crochets into this chain space. 1, 2. I'm going to do chain of 3, and then pop another 2 double crochets into the same space. Right, and now I'm going to continue putting double crochets into every stitch along until I get to the end, where I will join you again. Okay, we're coming to the end of this DC row, and what I'll do next is I'll measure the cowl, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with the neckline. Right. Almost there. The last stitch would be fiddly, wouldn't it? Okay. All right, I'm just gonna pop a stitch marker in and then measure this cowl. Okay. can't quite get it all in shot. Try to. Okay, so we want it to be 68 centimeters or as close to 68 centimeters as we can get. So let's see. Let's see what we have. 68 centimeters, fabulous. Excellent. Right. Yours doesn't have to be exactly 68 centimeters. It's your preference, really. But if you can get it as close or as round that number as possible, that's fantastic. Whether it's around 65, 70, 72, whatever, it's completely up to you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to slip stitch these two ends together. Right. First, you've got to make sure you're on the right side, because our clusters are on the wrong side and our front posts are on the right side. So we need the right side to slip stitch. Just take that stitch marker out. Just find my stitch. This bit can get a bit fiddly. Right. So pop your hook through there and slip stitch the two ends together. Hook's getting caught up. I don't know what's getting caught on. Do that again. Okay, so slip stitch together and I'm going to chain up one. And now we're going to turn the work, but we have to be careful here because we don't want to turn it so that we end up stitching on these. We don't want that. We want to be stitching on this side here. So we turn our work carefully. Now, before we do anything, we make sure nothing's twisted, because I have done that. So we make sure that it isn't twisted. And now we're going to do a round of double crochet along this neckline here. Now, we'll be working along the posts, the chain posts that we made at the beginning of every round, and we'll be putting 2 double crochets into those. I'm just going to pop 1 double crochet in stitch just here. I'm going to pop a stitch marker in so I don't lose my starting point. And I'm going to pop 1 stitch into this one just here. And then 2 double crochets into this post. And then keep going with 2 double crochets into every post. Now, when you get to the middle, the very first stitch, let me find it. There we go. The very first stitch, just here, just pop 1 double crochet into there, or you can jump over it. You don't have to put a stitch in there. You can completely miss it out, but I will be putting a stitch in there. So I'll be putting 2 stitches there, 1 stitch there, and 2 stitches there. But yeah, you can skip over it if you want to. And I'm going to continue on with popping 2 double crochets onto every post. And I shall meet you at the end of this round. Okay, we're coming to the end of our round now. Just pop in the last few. Right, that's the last one. Pop a slip stitch into the first. And chain up one. Turn our work. Make sure it's not all twisted. Trust me, I've done that too many times. Right, and in this round, we're going to decrease for the neckline. Now, this is completely up to you how you do it, because it's your own personal preference for your own neck. So, as a guidance, I will be putting 2 double crochets into the first 2 stitches, and then in the third I'm going to decrease, and I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'll show you. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, then decrease in the third. Now if you don't know how to decrease, you go into your first stitch, you pick up the yarn, and you go into your next stitch, you pick up yarn, you have 3 loops on your hook, you yarn over, and you go through all 3, and that is how you decrease. I'll show you that again. So I'm going into 1 stitch, 2 stitches, and then decreasing in the third. So hook through, grab the yarn, go through the next one, hook through, grab the yarn, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through all 3. And once again, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, decrease in the third, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, all 3. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way around. And like I said, you can either do it that way, you don't even have to decrease, you can leave the neck nice and wide, or you can decrease it even more. You could do 1 stitch, 1 decrease, 1 stitch, 1 decrease, or you could do 3 stitches, 1 decrease, 3 stitches, 1 decrease. It's completely up to you. Give it a few goes, do a few decreases, try it on, see how you feel, and if it's too small, frog it back. If it's too big, frog it back and try again. This is personal preference, because I like the neckline to be nice and snug, like a turtleneck. Oh, excuse me. I like it to be like a turtleneck, so it's all nice and snug and warm. You may not want that. You may want a nice open cowl, and it's completely up to you. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, decrease in the third. Okay, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, I'm at the final stretch, so that's 1 DC, 2 DC, and then a decrease, and slip stitch first and the last stitch together, and now I'm going to chain up 2, 1, 2, turn my work, and now in this row we're going to do treble crochets all the way around. When I'm in the round, I like to put the chain and then a treble crochet into that same stitch. It just makes for a tidier round. And then pop a slip stitch in there. Slip stitch. Stitch marker. Getting all my words convoluted now. Right, and now I'm going to do treble crochets in every single stitch round. And I shall leave you to do that, and we'll meet at the end of this round. I'm coming to the end of my treble crochet round, and this next round it's going to be I would say a bit of a fiddly round for starters, but the rounds after that aren't so fiddly. Right. Slip stitch into the top of the chain. And then chain up 2. 10-hour work. Alright, and now in this round we're going to be doing treble crochet front posts and back posts, and I shall show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to put a normal treble back into this first stitch, and now we're going to put a treble back post, so a treble front post into the post of the previous stitch from the previous round. Okay, so we go through the back, grab the yarn, pull through, and make our treble. And then in the next stitch we're going to go this way, so through the front and through the back. Grab the yarn, pull it through, and we make a treble. These can get very, very fiddly. Okay, so yarn over. Now we put the hook behind stitch. We grab the yarn, pull it through, and then we make our treble. And then in the next stitch we go behind, in front, behind, grab the stitch, the yarn, sorry, pull it through, and make a treble. Don't know if I'm explaining it very well. So these stitches, I do them all of the time, but I've never sort of spoken out loud as I've done it. So I hope it's coming across. Right. So yarn over. Now we go to the back and to the front. We grab the yarn, pull to the back, and make treble. And then this next one, we going through the back, we go over the post, we grab the yarn, we pull it through, and we make our treble. And I'm going to do that once again because I'm really not sure I'm coming across very well. So for this front post, we basically pull our hook forward, and then we go through the back to the front, grab the yarn, we pull it back to the front, and we make our treble. And then this back post, we go in from the back, we cross over it, we go through the back, we grab the yarn, we pull it all the way through the back, and then we make a treble. Hope I made that clear enough for you, but I'm going to continue on, and if you need a few practices at this, rewind back this section and keep having a go at it. Or maybe you're actually really good at these and you're really good at explaining them. Maybe explain it to me. Right. I'm just going to do it one more time. Okay, so yarn over. And then go from the back of the post to the front of the post, yarn over. And pull it to the back of the post. Make a treble. And then with the back post, we go in from the back, we go across it to the back, we pull the yarn, pull it all the way through, back to the back, and then we make a treble. Okay, and I will see you at the end of this round. At the end of this round, and I'm just going to put a back post in there. And then slip stitch to the top of the chain. And then chain 2. Turn our work. Sort out this yarn. Okay. Now this round is a little bit more simpler. So just gonna put a treble back into that same stitch there. Put a stitch marker in. Okay. Now the previous row, we've set out our front post and back post, so it's a lot easier to see what you're doing in this round. So it's not so fiddly. So you're not constantly thinking, oh, I've got to do a front post, I've got to do a back post. Oh, I just did 2 back posts. Yeah, it's not going to be like that with this one. So as normal, you yarn over. And you see this one here. Now you go into stitch just here. So you hook through the back there, and then back there, you grab the yarn, pull it all the way through, and you make a treble. And then in this one here, in the front post, yarn over. So, I don't know what I was trying to do there. Okay, yarn over, and then put your hook through the front there, and then go in through the back. Grab your yarn, pull through, and make your treble. And then yarn over, and then in this next one, you put your hook through there, and you go round the back, of the post, and you pick up the yarn and you pull it all the way through and you make your treble and yarn over, and then this one you have your hook at the front and then go behind the post, come out of the front, yarn over, pull through and make your treble, and you continue on like that. As I say, because you can see the posts, it's a lot simpler to do this particular round and all of the rounds onwards from here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the next few rounds. I'm going to go up to about 9 or maybe 11 rounds to create a sort of a nice turtleneck. Now you don't have to do that. You can stop at the end of this round, or you could go a few more rounds, or you can do the same as me and create a nice turtleneck. So go for the next 9 to 11 rounds. It's completely up to you, but I shall see you at the end. Okay, I'm just going to finish off this last post and slip stitch into the round, and we're going to chain up 1, turn our work, and now we are on the very last round. And to finish off our work, we're going to do a very simple round of double crochet. Nice and simple, double crochet in every single stitch. And I shall see you in a moment. We're almost there. Just got a few more stitches to do. And do a slip stitch. Chain up 1, leave a nice long tail, stitch work, and now we're gonna quickly sew in the ends. Make sure the yarn is nice and secure. And there we have it. There's our cowl. I think it looks absolutely beautiful with all that texture. It's going to be lovely and warm. And this is the other one. I think they both look absolutely fantastic in many different types of colorways. It's a very simple cowl to make with some really beautiful stitches. And now you can do several things. You don't have to leave it plain like this. You could add a drawstring a drawstring even to the neckline to cinch it in a bit, or you could add some nice fringe, some nice tassels at the bottom here. But I like it as it is. And all that's left to say is thank you very much for joining me on this tutorial. I very much enjoyed making this piece. This is my first tutorial, so I do apologise for being a little bit all over the place with the descriptions of how to do things and such. Hopefully I'll improve over time. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments and give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you like this enough to give me a subscribe, because I am hoping to do a lot more tutorials. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!